Hey guys, welcome to math class. Today it's our very first math class away from each other. Before we begin, you're going to need a few things. You're going to definitely need a ruler, you're going to need a pencil and an eraser, and you're also going to need math lesson 111. It should be the first math on week 1. And we're going to start this lesson off with a brain pop, so it will get us familiar with what we're talking about today. Okay? All right, go grab your stuff and you may watch the brain pop.
You must be hungry, Moby. That's an enormous lunch. Are you really going to drink 3.5 glasses of milk? What are fractions? A fraction is a number that shows parts of a whole. This cake has 4 equal parts. The number of parts are shown in a fraction's denominator. So the denominator, or bottom of the fraction, is 4. One slice has a candle, and the numerator, or top of the fraction, is 1. 1/4 of the slices have candles. 3/4 of the slices do not have candles. Sometimes you count both whole items and parts of other items. What are mixed numbers? A mixed number is a number that shows both wholes and parts of a whole. You have only one whole apple, but you also have half an apple. Right, you have 1.5 apples. To write a mixed number, you write the whole number first. Then you write the fraction right next to it. How many glasses of milk do you have? Let's see, you have 1, 2, 3 full glasses. You also have a half a glass. So you have 3.5 glasses of milk. You can write this as a mixed number. Let's see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sandwiches, and you also have about 3/4 of a sandwich. So you have 4 3/4 sandwiches. You can also write this with words. 4 3/4 is the same as 4 3/4. Wait a minute, is that a hammer and newspaper sandwich? How many pies do you have? There are 6 whole pies. The last pie has 1 out of the 5 slices left, or 1/5 left. So you have 6 1/5 pies. Moby, did you just eat a sock pie? Was the sock clean? How many cartons of eggs do you have? There are 5 full cartons. The last carton has 1 out of 6 eggs, or 1/6. So you have 5 1/6 cartons of eggs. What fraction of these rectangles is green? There are 7 rectangles that are all green. The last rectangle is 2/3 green. So 7 2/3 of the rectangles are green. Moby, what else are you going to eat? Stomach medicine?
Okay, for your math lesson today, we're going to be talking about mixed numbers, which is what you just saw a video about. Now, let's review. We have some of our tangrams here, and we're going to review fractions. So we know that this equals, you remember, 1 whole. Okay, so if that equals 1 whole, we want to figure out what the other colors represent. So how many, if you guys remember, how many blue pieces go on 1 whole? Okay, so there are 3 blue pieces that fit on top of the yellow. So this piece, if I just took that one piece, let's put it over here so you guys can see it. This equals 1/3. Okay, so now let's use the red pieces. How many red pieces fit on the yellow? Okay, there are 2. So this red piece equals 1/2. And who remembers how many of the green ones fit? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whoop. This guy won't stay on. All right, so there are 6 of them that go onto the yellow, the 1 whole. So if I took 1 away, this is what? Equals 1/6. Okay, there's your review for our lesson. Okay, because we're going to need to remember these fractions when we do the worksheet. So go ahead and take out your math worksheet, and I want you guys to take this page out. Okay? Okay, we are going to do this one together. So of course, make sure your name is on the top. Go ahead and put my name up there. And we are going to look at this and we're going to do this together. So from what we just did with our shapes, we know that this shape equals the yellow. So how many whole pieces are in number 1? There's 1 whole piece. And then what do we remember from that? That equals what fraction? Okay, if we did this, that red represents 1/2. Okay, so just like the video, we're going to put these 2 together. Okay, so this mixed number for number 1 is 1 and 1/2. Now, do you see my 1 is as big as the half? Remember, we don't want the half to be really, really big. We want it to be the same size as the 1. So let's do number 2 together. How many holes do we have? Okay, so this is 1 hole, and this is 1 hole. And do you remember what that one is? Okay, it's the green one, so it is 1/6. Okay, so our mixed number, you add these all together. So 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1/6 will be 1 and 1/6. Okay, I'm going to give you a second. I want you to do number 3. Try and do that one on your own. Make sure you're also labeling this and labeling this and that as well. It will help you when you are adding them up. Okay, so how many holes are in number 3? There is 1 because there's a whole yellow. Oh, my Sharpie's running out. All right, and if you remember, these are equal to 1/3, but you have 2 of them. So it is 2 out of 3. This is still 1/3 and 1/3, but together, whoop, smeared it. It equals 2/3. So this is 1 and 2/3. Okay. We'll get more practice with this on our lessons. Down at the bottom it says trace a pattern block to show 1 1/3. Now, we don't have the pattern blocks because of course we are not at school, but you can do your best to try and draw or trace the pattern blocks. Okay, now on here I'm going to show you how to do it with the pattern block, but you can do a circle if you would like. So 1, and then of course the 1/3 is our diamond. So that would be 1 1/3. Now it says on the back to do 2 3/6. So you're going to do 2 of these and then 3/6. Now, because we need the shape that you need 6 of them for, do you guys remember what shape that was? It was the triangles. So there's 3 out of 6 of the triangles. So you can do your best to draw that on the back of that paper. Okay guys, here on the front you have some timed 5 practice. You can time yourself, but you don't have to, but it's a good way to start memorizing your multiplication tables, especially your timed 5s. Okay, so this needs to be done, but it does not need to be timed like we normally do. What we're going to do every day is do the guided class practice together, and then you will do the other side on your own for homework, okay? So we're going to go through this together. Of course, you will need your ruler and a pencil and an eraser. Make sure you have that because you are going to need it. So it says draw a 7 centimeter line segment. So make sure you are on centimeters. Go ahead and draw your line. Okay. All right, then measure this one is, go ahead, 6 centimeters. Okay, make sure you put your name and the date. And I'm not sure, today is actually, I believe, the 28th. But it might be different from when we're posting. All right, so it says there are 247 children in grade 1, 290 children in grade 2, and 308 children in grade 3. Which grade has the most children? Out of all of those, which grade has the most? Go ahead and write it there. Then you are going to write which grade has the fewest children. Okay, so the most children is grade 3, and the fewest children are in grade 1. Okay, now it says how many children are there in grades 1, 2 together. This is where you need to use your workspace here. Make sure you line it up and go ahead and add. So grade 1 has 247 and grade 2 has 291. Go ahead and do that here. Oops. I'm going to give you a minute to work that math out. And if I'm ever going too fast, please just pause it and finish what you're working on and then check your answers with me. Okay? All right, so 247 plus 291. 7 plus 1 is 8. 9 plus 4, 13. Carry the 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 538 kids. Or you can put children, but it needs to be labeled here, okay? And also here. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, so now, this is one gets tricky, so we have to be very careful. It says, I have 1 quarter, 2 dimes, 3 nickels, and 1 penny. Draw the coins. So make sure we are labeling it. I like to label it instead of the Q and the D and the N. I like to put the amount. So 1 quarter, 2 dimes, 3 nickels, and 1 penny. Okay? I'll give you a second, count that up and see how much it is. And then you can go ahead and write it here, 2 different ways. Okay, so let's count together. 25, 35, 45, 50, 55, 60, 61. So we have 61 cents. Now we need to write it the other way. Dollar sign, we have no dollars, 61 cents. The next one says measure each side of the rectangle in problem 2. This is the rectangle in problem 2. Using centimeters, find the perimeter. Now if you remember, perimeter is this plus this plus this plus this. Okay, so let's measure in centimeters. Make sure you're on the centimeter side. So this is 8 centimeters, and this is 2 centimeters. We know that these two are the same, so this one is 8, so that must mean this one is 8. This one is 2, so this one is 2, because it's a rectangle, and we know that these two sides match and these two sides match. So now, remember, perimeter is adding all 4 sides, so it is 8 centimeters plus 2 centimeters plus 8 centimeters plus 2 centimeters equals what? You can make your groups of 10 and it equals 20 centimeters. So the perimeter is 20 centimeters. All right, it says show 7:29 on both clocks. What I like to do is do this one first so I know what time I'm looking at, 7:29. Now, with this, we know that it is almost 7:30. So our hour hand should be between the 7 and the 8. Okay? And then we're going to look for the minute hand. We count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now count by 1s. 26, 27, 28, 29. So the tick mark right before the 6 is your minute. 7:29. All right, which unit of measure is best for telling how much a dog would weigh? Well, some dogs are as big as children, so think about how you are weighed. Are you weighed by the ounce, by the quart, by the foot? That one's silly. Or by the pound? If you said pound, you are correct. Very good. All right, the bottom, I want you to start working on the bottom as I'm working on them, and then you can check your answers with mine. Okay, so go ahead and begin. Okay. How'd we do? Remember, this needs to be labeled with a dollar and a decimal. Okay? All right. So your job to do on your own is the other side. Normally is what we do for homework. This is what your job will be to do today on your own. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.